welcome to another episode of Real Talk with Shawn Smith. On today's episode, it's a other testimony episode as part of Real Talk with Shawn Smith testimony series, where my guests share their testimony on how they gave their life to the Lord. So I have a guest here, and he's going to introduce himself.
Hey, my name is Khyri Davis. Nice to meet you.
So, Khyri Davis, good to have you on the podcast.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was really, it threw me off actually when you reached out. I was in the middle of like taking care of actually doing work, and then I was going to take a quick break, and then I look at my phone like, hey, have you ever been on a podcast before? I said, what? And when I seen the message, I was like, no, I just haven't. Like, what's up? And you were just like, I would like to invite you on this podcast. So I'm, okay, I've never been on one before, but okay, I guess I'm thankful for it. Thank you for reaching out to me.
You're welcome. So, yeah, tell me, when did you give your life to the Lord?
So to be honest, I want to thank my granny and my grandfather. I've been with my walk with Christ since I was little one. I would say around like 4. I used to sit in my granny's lap and read the word around like 4 to 5 o'clock in the morning. And what did she say? My thing was like, we're going to go visit Jesus. That's what I used to do. But now, my actual true walk, this would be my first year. My very first year.
No, really?
Yeah, my true very first year is this year.
So when you got service with God.
Yeah. I was a hypocrite. When it came to my walk back then, I was one toe. I won't even say a foot. I was one toe in, and the rest of it, I was out. I called on God like an emergency for whenever I just needed something, truly. And I would dip and dabble in my word, and I can name the scripture here and there, but it didn't really shift and change until the ending of last year going into this year. So this has been the best and most trying walk, but I'm thankful for it.
Yeah. I tell you, it'd be tough, I tell you.
You know, it's not tough. It's how you choose to endure it, honestly. If you call it tough, it's gonna be tough. But I have learned to take not the yoke of myself, but to take the yoke of God, because he says it's easier to take his and to walk and to actually bear what it is and the weight I'm supposed to carry. That's just gonna make it the easiest it can be, honestly.
Yeah, man, our faiths be tested at times. Yeah, man, it can really be tested.
So yeah, what you got for me, man? I know you said.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I got a couple of questions.
Okay.
So I know a lot of people have a hard time reading the Bible, of course, every day.
Okay.
So, like, what do you think about that? Because a lot of people find it very boring to read it.
I'm gonna be honest. The Bible is not boring at all. It is one of the most profound words and stories that I could ever read. Now, it's one thing to go over the Bible and just know like your typical stories, like to go in to know the story about Adam and Eve, to go about Moses, to go about Jonah. To go about like just the main typical, true I guess, disciples that people just see out in front. But when I actually got a chance to read, like actually truly read the Bible for itself, it's not boring. It's what are you looking for out of it? There are so many different stories and lessons you can get from the Bible, from receiving wisdom to actually just having it stabilizing your life, or even looking for stories for courage, looking for like hope and actual true inspiration. And out of every story that I read, every person has encountered something to where their faith and their walk has been consistently or persistently tested about situations that God has always made a way for them. One of the most beautiful stories that I think actually deserves to be like shed a light on was the story of Esther. I've heard of Esther so many times in my life, but to read her story and in a time where kings and rulers were all over the place, and in regards for her story and the amount of courage she had to do and she had to have towards not just in her faith, but where she was around and even her oppressors that was even in the courts of where she was. And for her to be so diligent and calm and even allowing to go through said processes and times for her, it was wonderful. And I admire her courage, and I admire the fact that God allowed for things to play out so well that even she got a chance to see not only her enemies sat at her table, but they fell and became that footstool for her to even be crowned. It's beautiful, and that's just one of those stories. Other stories was actually getting into depth with the book of Job, or really even like for King Solomon. I mean, if you really want to go into it, like, it speaks about so much stuff that people are looking and seeking for answers in the wrong place that you can get today. It's just if you choose to pick up and read it yourself.
Yeah, some guesses. Well, I'm not gonna say some guests, but some viewers that watch the podcast, they feel that way. They say it's so boring, we can't sit there and read it.
No, it's really what you make of it. When it comes to spending time with God, it's what you make of it. I believe that, you seek God for the relationship, not to seek for his hand, not to seek for him to come out and just give you your heart, but you walk with him. I can't speak for every other guest, but for me, when it comes to my walk, I just want his will to be done in my life. I've always chose myself wrongly. I thought my will was more than his, but he has shown me that his will is better. And honestly, even with this year, his walk and the will that he has for me is a lot easier than what it is that I was trying to make and think that I was okay with what I was doing. It's just the truth.
Oh yeah, that 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Definitely.
And then I'm also gonna ask the other question.
Okay.
People so quick to say this that God knows their heart, and they give them permission to like do what they want to do, still call themselves Christians.
The Bible actually speaks about the heart, and that is actually one of the most furthest things from people and from their relationship with God. The heart is, in the spoken in Testament, that the heart is the most deceptive and the most wicked thing possible. Just because God knows your heart and he sees what it is you want doesn't mean everything that's in there is good. So when it comes to the heart, it's where you're actually aligned with. If your heart is aligned with God and it's with your will, God wants you to have nice things. He wants you to have nice experience, to do things. does believe in that. Like, I don't know why God would not want to give you, good gifts. It says, the Father, people know how to give good gifts. So imagine the gifts that my Father can give you. So because of even with that, why would he not want to bless you with certain things? Now, it's wrong to make an excuse for any disciple that walks with Christ to say, oh God, you hear my heart, I'm going to do this condition and make a condition out of everything and say, God, if you do this, I'm going to do this. It's not realistic, and that's wrong. I've caught myself doing that. Like, God, if you give me this job, God, if you give me this car, God, if you do, certain things and have expectations just so you can be satisfied, that's wrong. That's not the God that I serve. My Father, he provides your basic necessities, as well as he does want to give you the fruitions and your dreams, but he has even better for you. So the things it is that you look at, God look at it, and it's been very clear to me. You say, yeah, your dream, your idea, that's great, but I have this for you. So to take that, it's a level of trust that I have learned to have, especially in my relationship with God, that I've taken a lot of me out of it and I've given over to him, and I'm just learning to walk in what he called me to be. I wanted to be everything else but this walk, I guarantee you. I really did. But I like it. I really do. And he's fulfilling even more than my own expectations. So that's my spill on that.
Yeah. And why is it very important to live holy?
We said, why is it very important to live holy?
Yeah.
It keeps me out of the street, because when it comes to walking with God, it's like choosing to walk on the sidewalk where you're safe, and walking in the street. Cool, there's more rain, there's more ground, but there's no actual security. Just as you can't drive on a sidewalk, you can drive in the street. So you are not only out there risking yourself to take whatever it is that's coming, but also too, that type of lifestyle within itself is not only not honoring God, but also too, it's a risk. And life is with risk within itself, but that's not the risk I'm willing to take. I don't want to put myself in danger, let alone let me have a family or let me have somebody that's around me, and because of my direction and where I'm walking to, and they follow me, and for some reason they get hurt because of where I'm going. I'd rather be led in the safest way possible and go down what I need to, and be there and take a longer way than even some people go into wide streets and consider that as a shortcut. I can do what I want. I can do this. I can do that. That sounds great until you need an emergency call and a superhero help. Like, okay, God, please help me. I need da da da. And then it's like, oh, so where was you when you was in the street? That's the thing. It'll be like, okay, I wouldn't be surprised if God would be just like, I mean, that's what you chose to do, and he'll allow you to choose, choose who you serve on this day. You can only have one master. If you want to walk on the sidewalk and follow me, cool. If you want to go be in the street, go be in the street. But I still love you, regardless of your choice. And that's really, the basis on that.
Yeah, and that's very important right there. Yeah, to live holy, everything that we do, because we as humans, especially young people, I'm going to put it out there, love to go to these parties and all that.
I don't think there's anything wrong with having a good time.
I'm trying to say parties that have a lot of stuff like, let's take for instance, like party that can lead you to sin, like as far as smoking, all that, girls turfing, wild parties.
That okay.
Yeah, I say other part.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that.
Um,
Yeah, well, that goes on smoking, then drinking, all that, and
it
listen to what's that music? Uh,
secular music.
yeah, like
I mean,
Sexy Red and Gorilla and all them.
no. I mean, I will say this. I mean, at one point, I enjoyed those things. I don't know one too many people that when it comes to the actual walk can admit that that they didn't. I mean, I went to parties. I enjoyed that stuff. I drank. I've smoked. I've done things that I'm not proud of. I'm not anymore, and I'm more than open and willing to speak on it. Like it's just the truth on what I did. But where I'm at, especially when it comes to reflecting on that, I mean, a lot of it is I enjoy to have a good time. I think everybody enjoys to have a good time, and the level of on doing that is where you may like the way the question is presented to me. Um, there's a level and there's a limit on having that. So you want to go out, have a good time and be safe with it. But if you know for a fact that you're just gonna be buck wild. Like this is going back to talking about being like directly in the street. If you're just going to do that, that's what you're going to do. And I can't speak, you're going to be safe drinking, smoking, turning up to sex. I can't speak on that or wherever you choose to go because people are going to do what it is that they're going to do at the end of the day. But it's more at this point, it's a choice. If that's what you're going to do, that's your choice. But when you make that choice, regardless, you're going to live with that choice. And whatever consequences that you're choosing to accept that come with that, that comes with that. As you can see, most parties, and we're going to talk about college because, I mean, college parties are the main, like really like the main things that happen. Mm-hmm. They get shut down due to X, Y, or Z. I don't know what all the reasons are now, but it's too loud. It's been going on too long. This is this. Somebody calls this. It's a fight. It's some reaction that always overturns into something that was crazy. So, I mean, and even when I did that, I didn't entertain everything because certain things I just was just like I just know I just can't do. I wasn't bold enough to do. I couldn't. I was scared to get drunk at a party. Like I drank. I didn't feel comfortable smoking with people because I don't know who you with or what's going on or what's in there. But when it comes to that, that's I like I said, I enjoyed it and that was a part of my life I did. But now, I mean, I can't say anything, but that was just a part of me back then versus what it is that I do now. Just moderate, I relax on that.
Yeah, that's why it's very important we as Christians to hold each other accountable, not to get to that point with that. So,
I mean, everyone's gonna have an experience. I don't recommend and say, "Oh, go do this before you make this choice." I'm not saying that at all. But whatever it is, that you're choosing to do, be conscious enough to be aware of the decisions, the people that are watching you, and the consequences that may come behind it. If not, that's going to come behind it. There are good consequences. There are bad consequences. That's going to happen. When you walk with Christ, you're going to be talked about. You were just out there doing X, Y, Z. Now all of a sudden you turned your life to Christ. You were just doing that because of this. Well, yes. And I'm not ashamed to admit I was wrong. I've did things I'm not proud of just as much as any other leader, anybody else that did or that's turning to Christ. But if you didn't, you didn't do those things, I congratulate you. I wish I had the courage and the capacity to be there back then. And even then, that person or whoever they are, they were mentally stronger than me. It's just better. They were more sound than me.
Yeah, that's why I was saying with that part, just have your friend. That's why a community is very important to have. So they can pray with you and help you accountable to keeping you from sinning.
Who did I have back? I'm gonna be honest, my circle back then, I didn't have a lot of friends that were like that. And if I did, they were either with me in doing this or they were very they just really didn't speak to me unless I was in a certain vicinity with them. I mean, I had a relationship or something towards and with God. That's great, but I didn't have true friends that would actually hold me accountable. I just didn't have that because I didn't circle that, nor did I entertain that. And it showed in not only in my actions and what I did, but who I was around. That was my true circle back then. So I may have been surrounded by good people or
good people that don't lead me into something that's bad. Long as they good people,
Even good people make bad decisions.
Yeah, and they do make bad decisions. But if you have a conviction, they should respect the fact that they should respect the fact that you should not they say if you say, oh, I can't go to this part, I can't go here and there, they should respect that.
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely got not even just gotten to the point, but I've definitely when I got to my later years of school, I've definitely turned down places on going. I was just nah, I got this I'm finna focus on. And eventually I was starting to get into a not isolated, but basically a separated point from people. So I mean the peace and the fun and joy that I had at one point definitely transitioned to I like being in my room. I like being to myself and just enjoying the simpler things. I really did. And that was just more for me. And eventually people have been placed in my life at a certain time for things. And they were. And I thank every person that definitely encountered me and I actually transitioned and hung with them and definitely turned the volume down from what I was doing to being a lot more relaxed. You don't gotta go out and do that. Just stay in. You don't gotta do that. You wanna go eat some food? When I say change that, it's a small adjustments that came in. And even then, when I was with him, we went out, but we didn't go out and do those same things. We went out and changed and did different things of we got a chance to speak and go to a decent restaurant, like the Chili's, with the Cheddar's, or to go even try something that we never tried before and fellowship in a better way than what was just offered for a party or anything. So you get to that point.
Yeah, that's good right there. Yeah, you know me. My friends, some of my friends know not to make me do nothing. They know if I mean no, if I say no, I mean no.
And that's good friends to have. to hold you accountable.
Yeah,
Like that's
yeah,
good to hear.
yeah. Parties, they know. Like my friends had hosted a pool party last month. I was gonna go. I was gonna go, and the Lord told me not to. I said I was gonna just go and say hi and all that. And Lord say no.
And even then, that's good. Obedience is better than sacrifice.
Yeah, I
So,
was like, man, I just want to have a good time, good vibes and all that. But I don't know what happened the last time back in May. I went to that pool party and got back to my bad self. Old self, I mean, yeah.
well, at the end of it, the fact that you listened, and even that shows that you learned from your past. So that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, man, like some music I had to get. I do. I'm not going to put on for fun. I still listen to a couple of secular music. I mean,
Yeah.
R&B and country and all that.
No, even me this year, my taste in music, not even not my taste, the music that I took in versus what I take in now, I kid you not. Um, if I had to look at myself last year and look at myself now, like if I had an actual meeting, I would be like, boy, what is this? I would really be like, what are you listening to? So a lot of stuff I was listening to, like a couple artists, like I was listening to like Gunner, or I was listening to Gunner was like one of my favorite artists at one point. I was listening to Summer Walker. I was listening to Jane Aiko. I was like just to name a couple people, and then even like older R&B like Ashanti and Alicia Keys. So R&B was really, really, really big with me. But now a lot of the music that I listen to has been a lot more alternative to gospel and a lot of hymns. And when I say from the change of even listening to music, that stuff within itself was very profound, and it reflected even how it was, because my ears became sensitive to certain stuff. Like when I say I can't even really listen to no more than like 10 minutes of like Sexy Red, I'll get annoyed.
Me too.
I would genuinely just get annoyed, or Glow, or really anyone else. Cause I'm just like, I ain't trying to hear that. Like I don't have nothing against them. Like they make their music, but I just don't listen to the same stuff anymore. And whatever it is, just as much as it is from your eye gates that you put your ear gates, are just as important, if not the most. So I put that in for me, and it makes me feel so much better. Like I feel, and I'm more at peace mentally than anything, just from the change of music. If really a lot of stuff wasn't changed, that one piece was a huge part. So.
Yeah, the music thing, I tell you, it used to be bad now. I mean, it used to be bad a long time ago, but now it just got so bad. So
I won't say, and I don't believe there's anything, I don't think there's anything wrong with listening to music. It's the amount that you consume.
No, really.
Too much of anything can be bad. I mean, there's a balance. Like for me, I go to the gym, I work out, and when I go to the gym, like I will listen to like something that actually push me. Like I will listen to like a college like remix. I'm pretty sure anybody who actually plays sports, or if you not even an athlete, but if you like to listen to something good, like I'll listen to like Unlimited Sail. Like, and it'll be like this unpressed version where they will really just be talking. Or I'll listen to like some anime, or from here and there I'll listen to like some actual rap. to go and lift, like to go work out. Like that's the time, like that's the very few times I'll listen to it. Or if I just really like, oh, I heard this song and I'm just like, oh, okay, cool, and I'll dabble in it. When I say dabble, I mean literally just dabble. But besides that, I'll turn right back on to like everything else. I don't want to consume and to fall back into that because I've never had the level of peace that I have now from the things that I listen to, and I actually enjoy the new stuff that I take in.
Yeah.
So
Then piggyback with the music because I know some of these Christian content creators be telling people that some of our favorite artists are demonic. And I'm just like, they saying things. I'm just like, you don't have to agree with that artist, but to talk bad about them and call them out their names is a no-no. Take, for instance, you having content creators talking about Beyonce. I'm like, why talk about her? Like,
because I'm not 100% into music. That's not my full cup of tea to look into an artist's life. But do be aware of who it is that you entertain, and even in music, because let's be real, biblically, you know, Lucifer or Satan, people, whichever name you prefer to call and go by, you know, he was the angel of music.
yeah.
So in regards to that, and for that fallen angel, what will he use to get people, you know, in such a way? Is music. Music in itself can be very influential.
Mm-hmm.
So even you watching behind that person, the words that they say, like I actually got a chance to start reading my lyrics. Like, what am I what am I agreeing with?
Yeah, man.
And then even with that, what is the spirit behind that song? Like what goes behind that song? Because like there are things that you have to be consciously aware of when you're putting things in your eye gates as well as your ears. So when it comes to those artists, and I can't speak, you know, against everybody, and it's not my place to, because I'm not going to judge them for what they do, because that's God's place. So I'm just going to limitate and restrict, you know, what's not going to be sound for me. It doesn't make any sense for me to listen to something that either I completely walked away from, or just something I don't agree with. And some of the lyrics have if not been more explicit now, they're just out there. Like if you just look at some of the lyrics directly from Glow, from Beyonce, from any of the other artists, and one of the funniest things ever, which was a really big song back then, was like with SZA, the song Snooze.
Mm-hmm.
If you even just look at the lyrics by itself, you take away the music, you take away the symphony, and you just read it for what it is and the stuff that she's saying within the first few lines and what she's agreeing with what she's doing. Not only are you becoming susceptible to those things, but you're speaking like, yeah, I would do this willingly. So that's what I mean by be cautious to those things and actually read what it is that you're agreeing with. Like, why are you agreeing with
But me, I won't be as far, even though I would talk about the music, but I'm not going to be as far to call them out their name and wishing bad on them.
Right.
I can just play for them. Like, I don't agree with, I don't really listen to all of Beyonce music. I'm just going to put on Taylor Swift music.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to sit there and talk bad about them, that they gone to hell and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I just going to sit there and play just like the same thing with Sexy Red. I say so many times on this podcast that I don't like her music, but I'm not gonna sit there and call her out her name saying that she this and that and that she gone to hell. And that's why I have a problem with some of these, Christian people. And that's how I kind of like, kind of like it's good to like be around other believers, but at the same time, they can be so mean and judgmental at times, though. And that just like sometimes I don't want to be around. Sometimes I just rather just like be by myself at times. Like I rather not be around people that much because of the meanness and all. They want to talk about somebody and want to put them down. That's why I'm saying. I mean, yeah, Beyonce, her song and her music, I definitely don't recommend listen to it at all. I would say this is not good to listen to, but I'm not gonna sit there and talk bad about her and tell people to like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
mean,
that type of person like a Christian come talking about stay away from Usher, and I'm just like he this and that. No, that's a no. You don't do that. How can we? Okay, we is called as Christians. We need to be shown a good example. We need to stop. First of all, we need to stop being mean, though. That's the thing, though. We need to learn how to be loving. So, yeah.
okay. Well, and even behind that that statement within itself, I I would say this. And the Bible says within itself, love conquers all. So even if you have people who have who have hate in their heart, whether that's towards an artist, a song, I mean, you at the end of it, it is your duty as a disciple to love them through it. And even for anybody else that's fairly new to their walk with Christ, if that's something that they're still doing, the only thing that I would say your response to that too is just to pray for them all across the board, for where their heart posture is and where their mind is, because maybe God has not dealt with that particularly yet, but allow Him to take His time with His people, because He knows how to lead and direct and to voice things to you better than what I can tell you, because He works in great ways, as much as it is mysterious, but in great ways too. He knows how to get your attention the best, and He knows how to take things. Some people just, it's going to take more effort than others, but give that over to them. And even for those artists and Christians, those artists within themselves, I don't condemn them for their art or anything. That's what they choose to do. But also for the people that listen to them, to the fan bases that listen to them, if that's what they choose to do, at the end of the day, like, a person has a choice. Their choice, God gives free will to those. So as much as it is on anything, allow that person to deal with that choice. Because at the end of the day, the Lord, like he literally speaks and He says He laughs at the wicked because they literally count their own days. So when the Lord laughs at that within itself, you do have to recognize, like, you're given each day an opportunity to meet Him, and whether you stop doing this or not. And He sends over certain things of, you should stop doing this, you should put this down. And even then, God is a gentleman. He won't just interrupt and to take things. He'll let you be how you are, unless you ask Him to. And even with the people that you surround yourself with and what it is that you're doing, there's a soundness, and there's a way that God wants to do His order towards these things. So, of course, and even for the body of Christ, I can't speak for the full body. That's unrealistic.
Yeah, man. I'm just
So I'm just saying, like, for me, I'm going to take the good and the bad, and I'm going to love them for for people who have statements like that. And my job is just to pray for them and pray with them if they know for a fact that's not sound, or if they may not have known, because some people just go off of somebody else's teachings which have been led them astray, which is wrong. So if they don't know, I just pray and I ask to, to give sound counsel and lead them, to the right direction. If that's what's supposed to be done, if they're blatantly doing that, then all I can do is still pray for them. And then at that point, if you still choose to do that, then I separate myself from that. It's just a certain way on how you do it. It's not condemning them. I love you. I'll be with you. I pray with you. But if you're still choosing to do X, Y, and Z, I will remove myself from the situation and be like, hey, I love you. I wish you the best. I just want them.
Yeah. Because people, and this is what we have, I tell you. But people, it's okay to people don't know this, but it's okay to sometimes take a break from people and feed them with a long-handled spoon. It's okay to if you,
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. I'm like, yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, we can take a break from people. We don't have to always be around, just like family. Like me, I don't like to be around my family I want to be by myself at times where I can think and focus, because it's peaceful to be by yourself at times.
Okay. And just as much as that, I mean, there are seasons where, and it really just depends where you are, in life and where God has you. Regardless, just as much as was Christ, he walked amongst all types of people. And even with his groups, he was still alone. So, just because, where it is that you walk, whether that be family, whether that be friends, I mean, Christ himself wasn't even welcomed in his own home. Just keep it real. So if he wasn't if he wasn't, welcome in his own home, what difference does it make between anyone else? I mean, he walked with people and he walked alone very, very consistently. So whether he's around his family, whether he's around, anything, around friends, his disciples, he still did his job, what he was called to do. And even then, it's okay to be, your light. Let your light shine for where it is that you walk. You're going to rub people wrong, just from you being in their presence. And that's okay. That's going to be okay. It's nothing to do in condemning them, but that's somebody else's condemning themselves and reflecting what is so different about them? Why are they like this? You can't fight nobody else's demons. It's, that's what they're internally battling. So if you feel uncomfortable just being around them, I mean, the only thing I can say is just be okay with being uncomfortable, because you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to be but you do make a decision not to be around people like that. Yeah, you do make a decision to keep your peace. In order to keep your peace, you do have it's your decision if you want to be around that person or not. Because people, people dealing with mental health and all that. When it's always important to really protect your peace at all costs.
Right.
Yeah, it's very important. Like with church, I was talking to a person in my church, and this brother that we know, he taking a break from church. I say, hey, that's okay. I took a break from church. In June, I took a break. I'm like, why not? I went to my family church, so why not? There's nothing wrong with taking a break from church. I mean, that's just a church house, to be honest. That's just a house.
What do you mean?
I mean, it's okay to take a break from the first, the church building. It's just a building.
Are you? I'm trying to make sure that I got this right. You just saying that you just wanted to be absent from just the church itself, just that?
I'm just saying that it's okay to be absent from the church building, being around other Christians. That's
Okay.
yeah. You can like seek God for yourself, as long as you have a relationship with God
Oh,
and
okay.
read your Bible. You don't really have to be around every day and all that. So every Sunday.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's my
No, when I was asking the question, like I didn't know what perspective that you were coming from on this, so that's why I was like,
yeah, I
what do you
know.
mean? So yeah,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong. You don't have to go to church to meet God.
Mm-hmm.
There's no direct place. You can meet him anywhere, whether you're driving, in the shower, you sitting on the couch. You can be literally anywhere and have an encounter and fellowship with him. So, if you took a break from that church, okay,
Yeah,
but still, to do your walk, you still do your best, to speak with him. You man cannot live off of bread alone. So
yeah.
read your word, and still keep yourself in that posture, or even sharpen yourself. It just may not be at the church house that you serve. Just you can still serve God at home. So yeah.
Because I know a lot of people, they like think they're saying, "Oh, you don't go to church, something's gonna happen to you." And I'm just like, "What?"
What do you mean? You mean like
like,
somebody condemning you because you're not in the
they
house?
condemning a couple people. Well, I did have somebody also condemn me because I had not been in church for a while.
Okay.
I used to condemn people for not coming to church, but I'm like, you know what? They got a lot going on. Who and I can sit here and get upset with them if I'm going to do my own self too?
Understood. I mean, like you were just stating, I don't believe there's anything wrong with not going to church. You're still gonna end up tending to yourself. God, like I said before, God is gonna meet you wherever you are, wherever you're at. So whether that's you receive a word at home, okay, you receive a word at church, okay. There's nothing wrong with taking a break. God Himself took a break.
Yeah.
When it came to His creations, and definitely for me and my family, especially when we were speaking on, they were just like, yeah, you should take a break. When you work all year and everything else, like, you take a break, even when it comes to that. But that's not gonna stop me from reading my word and spending time with Him. So you mean it in that way? Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
you.
Spending time, long as you have a relationship with God and
Yeah,
talk with Him every day and read your word.
yeah.
Yeah, you really don't have to, if you go and do it, like I say, yeah, take a break. And who and I can sit there and condemn somebody that, oh, you had not gone to church, you the devil, you know, yeah.
Okay. I wouldn't see, because you didn't go to a church house, how that would reflect you being the devil.
They say like this, you a heathen or something.
Nothing about that would be a heathen at all. You just didn't go. It's just like you were saying, like, it's a place of worship. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but that doesn't make you an enemy. That's weird.
Well, I know this episode, you expect it to be this deep.
Say it
I
again.
say you did expect it to be this deep, huh?
No, I didn't have any expectation. I was just going in it with a clear heart and an open mind, and wherever it's led, I said, God, just give me the right words to speak. Then I'm speaking to the people and lead them in the best direction. I don't want to stir anybody away. That's it.
Yeah. You know me, I'm not I don't want no drama and bad blood with nobody, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have any decisive words or anything like vindictive to say against people or whatever it is that they do. I just want to shine, like just do my best and shine my light in the best way possible, so somebody can follow and see God. That's it. It ain't got
Okay.
nothing to do with me.
Then one more thing though, I had to have a confession. And I know this was like this was back then. I will never forget. This was back in 2020. And I know I'm bringing this up right now. I could say something. But I guess it was that day, it was that Monday, we was on a Zoom call with brothers, me and K. And I guess you was like talking, you was talking something, you was upset that day. You was talking.
Okay.
You was talking about something. I'm like, what's going on with this dude? I'm like, this dude give me bad vibes at that time. And I was like, I told Josie about it. You know Josie Meats.
Mm-hmm.
I told him about it. I said, oh, it's just something about this dude. I don't think me and this dude would like talking.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. I was like, and Josie was like, everybody have a bad day. Give him a chance. I was like, no, because he just fab saying stuff.
No, you're
Yeah.
good. Like I'm just listening to
Yeah,
you.
yeah, you was like fast saying stuff, and I'm like, what's going on? Cause I guess you was saying that you was older on the June call, that you was older. Who's the oldest on the June call or something?
No,
You was,
I don't believe that's how the conversation was. I mean, it's been so long, but the conversation and what you were speaking about. I mean, this man that came in that was introduced was supposed to be a mentor, from my understanding, and the way that he was. Projecting off into doing things, and I don't have anything against the man, like at all. Like I just want nothing but the best for him. Um, I was expecting a type of mentorship to follow along in this direction, but he was spinning along like something else. And because I picked up on that, and I had my own conversation with others about it, and I was just like, it rubbed me wrong. I mean, that's just the case. The guy rubbed me, wrong, because I was open, to what he was explaining after the first few encounters, and he gave like this really good, like, in-depth explanation on, he's just trying to make these group of guys, not just for myself, because you know from where I come from, like, I was never really introduced to people with a lot of wealth, or even having like the type of mentality and structure that he presented to me at that time. So, because even then, with people that were in, we were following along and doing X, Y, and Z, and that was cool. I was prepared, to see what was everybody else, and I had a eagerness and just, a courage, and just ready to move, to what it is that we needed to do. And I wasn't the only person with this mindset. So when we sat on Zoom in the time that you're speaking about, he ended up basically, like, it was, to me it was like you're selling a dream. So, and because that the way that was presented, it rubbed me wrong. And yes, I was rightfully upset. I was, as well as other people that spoke on there, that they were upset and bothered, because they end up, they seek counsel with me, and I spoke with them about it. They were just like, hey, why are you upset? I said, this is what bothered me. You know, when you're being presented and promised one thing, and then you're doing another, you might as well, you just said, like, it's a lie. So because of that, yes, I was bothered. It rubbed me wrong. I was rightfully angry. I don't like being sold dreams, or being lied to, especially with the way that this was presented. And I really, I had trust in him for that. And he broke my trust. That's what that was.
No, I didn't know what was going on. I was kind of confused about the situation.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this dude, I don't think I would like in the ass with him. That was back in 2020.
No, and even then, I appreciate you for confessing that. And even then, like, however you feel about me, whether that's like then to now, I still love you and treat you the same. It doesn't bother
But
me.
yeah, I mean, we good though.
Yeah, we're fine. Like it's like
Yeah.
I said, despite how your feelings towards me, I mean, I still love you the same. It doesn't change, anything. But yeah, during that time, I was rightfully angry. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
man. Yeah, man, I gave you a chance because I had that kind of heart. Because
Okay.
I didn't know you like that. And I'm like, you know what, maybe I should not misjudge people without knowing them.
I mean, more than anything, I choose not to judge people because I don't want to be judged. Not to put that in a stereotypical way, like, oh, you're trying to away from being viewed one way. I'm like, no. I mean, I don't know what it took you to get to that place. I don't know what rabbit hole or what got you there, but I'm more than open to talking to really anybody. If you had a conversation with me, I would talk with you just as well. Like you've known me like a while back, and even then, even amongst that group chat, you were in it, and I remember sending out like invitations to, like, hey, you guys, y'all trying to go to the gym and do run 5-on-5s. You were included. You just either chose not to go, or you may have not seen it. I don't know which one of the answers it was. You just, there wasn't a response from you.
Oh, me?
Yeah, it was. Like,
Oh, yeah. It was back in 2020 or 2021.
It was one. It was one of no. It was even before that, because 2020 I was completely on something else, and even then, like with dedicated men, that has to be before that. But yeah.
Because I met you in 2020, so.
You met me before 2020.
No, I met you in 2020. I met you during that a men's cave thing.
During the men's cave.
Yeah, when Fayefield they had started.
Oh, okay. now it makes sense. Okay. Yeah. I wasn't involved. Yeah. Okay, I remember. I wasn't involved with them at the time, but I definitely wanted to speak with.
Oh.
Okay. I definitely, I wasn't involved with them at the time, but I definitely wanted to speak with them, and just to do a check in, just to see how things was. It was nice. It was a good time.
Because you went to UNT.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Went to UNT.
Yeah. And somebody had like reached out to you.
Oh yes. So I mean, I was asked to be on there. That was like a long time ago, and even then, like, I was nervous about that. But I thought I was smart then. I thought I was wise, and even the stuff that I was saying, it wouldn't age well. But I mean, at that time, everybody thought they were, their viewpoints and stuff were so right and clear. It was not sound at all. So yeah.
Well, yeah, that was something, bro. I had to cry and say that. I was like, but you know what? Like I say, I gave you a chance, though.
I appreciate
it.
it.
Man, that's something that I'm really working on now, too. Even my family like that, too. We just like, we misjudge people, so.
I mean, I'll say this, and even for me, with this now, despite how my friends, family, enemies, anybody looks and views me, I love them. I mean, when I say I love them the same, I've had people betray me. I've had people, who I thought was going to be supportive for me. I thought so many people was going to be here for the long run, but things change and God changes circles. So I can't complain, and I'm just thankful, I'm still here and I can speak about that. And even for them, I love them for who they are and where they're at, whether they accept me or whether they think I'm weird, I'm strange, I'm really anything else. I mean, I love them for them. And I'll meet them for where they're at. And, I'll check in. I won't hang around too long because, it won't be fruitful. But, I'll do what's there. Like I said, love conquers all. And, if my enemy is hungry, I'll feed them. If they're thirsty, give them that. Cool them off. Don't make them more hot.
Oh man, you better than me, bro.
No, I'm no better than anybody. When I say this year has been a year of growth and growing for me, I've done a lot of self-reflecting, and the Lord has been doing a lot of character development and building for me. Because, the same person that you're speaking with today, I was not this guy. I kid you not.
Yeah, you had kind of strong personality.
No, I've always had a strong personality in a sense, but I wasn't this. And even for me, I'm still in development for the things it is that that's transitioning with me. I've been severely humbled by the Lord, severely humbled. And I'm okay with that place. I have lost things that I thought I was going to keep for forever, or at least just to add on to, stripped away. I've had people encounter me and I thought one thing and they became a complete other. So, I mean, in this, and especially with the things that are being exchanged out for me, I'm thankful. I really am. It's a lot of new things that are going on, and I take all this with a smile, and even with the stuff that was taken away from me, I'm happy it was taken away from me because it didn't bear any fruit and it didn't benefit anybody. It didn't benefit me at all. So to anybody that that has anything against me, I love them. For anybody who that loves me, I love you the exact same way. So whether you're an enemy in my face or your enemy in the back, you sit at the table. I asked the Lord to prepare the table before you, and I'll still show you the same love that God showed to all his disciples, even to Judas himself. And even with him knowing that he was going to be betrayed, that's a different type of love to have. And that's something I asked for. I said, I want that type of love to be able to
make me cry, bro.
No, I'm being so serious, because at first I'm like, why would I want to love that? But then it's so calming to just know that you can have that if you ask for it and you seek it. So, you, like you said before, I didn't even know that you had a vendetta against me because of my personality, because of something I may have said, or even my actions. And even then, I won't say I was 100% right in the way that I did it. I won't say that, because your memory and your perception of me back then may have been 100% accurate of what it was I was at that time. I can't correct anybody's lens and tell you, look at me this way, this is how I was. That's unrealistic. So I take caution to how it is that I'm viewed and what it is that I'm doing, and I'm being 100% authentic with how I am. And I'm sorry for giving you that viewpoint of me. I didn't know I really came off that way.
I didn't know what was going on. I read people.
So yeah, that's really it. And even then, for you on that, thank you for the chance that you give me to speak on here. Yeah. And for that, I forgive you for, if there was anything that helped, that you just felt like that was against me. It's okay. I love you.
Yeah. So yeah, I really appreciate you for taking out the time to come on the podcast, man.
No problem, man.
Yeah.
No problem at all.
Mean a lot to me, bro.
You mean a lot to me too. You just don't know.
Man, yeah, okay. So you stay like in Dallas or something?
Yeah, I'm transitioning. That's where God's finna get ready and take me to. So yeah.
Okay, man. But okay, y'all. I appreciate y'all so much for watching this episode, Real Talk with Shawn Smith. I know y'all did not expect that, but hey, we need to have these deep conversations. We can get along. But yeah, agree and disagree. That's what it should be all about. We don't all have to say yes to everything or agree on everything. Mm-hmm. So that being said, y'all be sure to catch new episodes every Friday on YouTube and subscribe to Real Talk with Shawn Smith's YouTube channel, please.
All right.
Yeah, what can they find you at?
You said for me? Oh my goodness! I mean, you can find me on Instagram. My Instagram is _@Khyri Davis. I mean, that's what I put for myself. I mean, I post every day. I post my Bible verse that's there, and things that's just gonna be inspirational. And then, like I said earlier, I don't know if I mentioned earlier, like I go to the gym, very consistently, and this is gonna be my first year of being consistent in the gym.
Yeah.
And like I said with my walk, so I mean, if anybody wants to talk and ask me about me, I mean, I'm an open book. I'm willing to talk with you. If you want to talk about God, we talk about God all day. So,
yeah. He don't sugarcoat nothing.
Yeah, just being thorough and truthful.
Yeah, like he did to me. Okay, y'all. Y'all take care and see y'all next time on the next episode, Real Talk with Shawn Smith. Bye, and y'all come back now.